Okay, starting out, just want to let everybody know Kyle Davis has been dismissed from our team for breaking team rules. We wish him nothing but the best moving forward. Just looking back, the LSU game, obviously that was an extremely tough loss. Blowing a 20-point lead was tough to take. And I just want to say this, I've got good coaches, I've got good players, and anytime that happens, that's on the head coach, and that's on me. And that can't happen again. It's not going to happen again, but I take full responsibility. The challenge now is putting it behind us. And I will tell you that our players and our coaches have put that loss behind us, and they're looking forward to Arkansas. Arkansas is a tough place to play. Last time we were there, I think we went 4 overtimes, lost at the very end. You know, they're a team right now with their back against the wall. We know we're going to get their best, and that's what we're thinking. We're a little beat up as a team right now. We've got some injuries. We've got some guys that are playing that aren't quite 100%. That is, you know, that's normal this time of year, especially not having an off week. So our guys are looking forward to this game, and then obviously we'll have an off week next week and be able to heal up. So, questions?
Guys, starting with Kyle, how disappointing is that news? You had Sean dismissed, you've had Byron transfer, you've had receivers in the past. Kyle started to reflect, frankly, a lot of the same behavior that Duke Williams displayed a couple of years ago. How disappointing is this happening?
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to compare. Every situation is different, and I'm not going to agree with that comparison of the former wide receiver. But, you know, anytime, you know, as a head coach, a player has to be dismissed, you don't, that hurts. And but every situation is different, and we've got a lot of great kids on this team, and anytime that happens, it's just another opportunity for someone else. And so that's the way I look at it.
Looking at the 17 consecutive runs on first down plays, do you look at that as a mistake, or do you look at that, was that part of your plan, or how do you explain that?
You know, obviously when you look back, you know, we'd like to do things a little bit different there. You know, there was about 4 or 5 that were RPOs that were a chance to run or pass, but obviously they end up being running plays. Each game unfolds differently, and you know, but you know, like I said, I'm gonna say this too. That's the head coach's responsibility, and you know, we got to do better next time.
Were you involved with the play calling at that point?
No, I'm not. I've been doing the same thing the whole time. Chip's calling plays, and Chip's a heck of an offensive coordinator and has done a great job for us. And but like I said, I'm not getting into any of that. I take responsibility for everything that happened, and we'll do better next time. And it's, you know, that's what happened.
Gus,
Why
when
is
they
it
walk-
last-
Gus, when they walk an 8th or 9th guy to the line of scrimmage, does Jared have the authority or right to get out of the play and get into a different one at that point?
Yeah, Jarrett, I'm glad you asked that, because Jarrett probably has more flexibility than any quarterback that we've had since I've been in college, just from the standpoint to change protections, the RPOs, and the decision making. He probably has more freedom than any quarterback we've had.
When you look at the last 5 games dating back to last season, you've scored 9 total points in your last 5 losses in the second
The
half.
losses, okay,
In
yeah.
the second half. You've had different offensive coordinators. Why is that happening?
Well, because we're not executing, but like I'm going to say this again, okay? That we've got to correct that, and that's my responsibility. And we've got to do better in second halves, especially when we have leads. Now, you're talking about just the last 5 losses. You know, we got to do better, and we've got a plan to do that, and you know, that's got to happen.
You said it's execution, is it not play calling?
Yeah, I think it's all the above. It's everything. I mean, anytime you don't score points, I think it's everything.
Guys, you continue to reiterate that you're not calling the plays, but all statistical evidence indicates that you have at least influence over it. The run-pass play breakdown on first down is almost in line exactly with how this was during your tenure as both offensive coordinator and as head coach. It is not in any way reflective of what Chip did at Southern Miss or Arizona State or what Red is doing now at UConn. When the evidence shows, and no fan, nobody watching TV believes that you're not calling the plays, why do you continue to emphasize that you have no influence?
Well, you know, I'll say this, as a head coach, we're going to have a philosophy, and we're a run, play, action team, throwing the ball vertically. We hired Chip to be more balanced, and we are more balanced. So you need to throw that in there too. And, you know, Chip's doing a good job, and like I said, the second half, we didn't score points. And that's really the, you know, the tough part right there, but we're going to rebound, and Chip's going to do a super job.
Coach, you've been talking about how everybody wants to get better from week to week going forward. For you, after what happened in Baton Rouge, this week, what are you going to focus on to kind of move on from that going forward?
Yeah, I think, exactly what you just said. I mean, we get leads in the second half. We can't let that happen again. I can't let that happen again. And we've got to do better. I've got to do better in those type of scenarios. And just from a head coach's standpoint, I mean, the reality is, we have a good team. And, we've got to put that loss behind us, and we've got to improve. And we're going to do that. There's no doubt in my mind we will. So, as bad as we feel, for that last game, we need to go to Arkansas. We need to get a victory. We need to heal up for a week, and then we'll be ready to make a stretch run. So, that's our approach, and that's what I believe.
How big an issue is it not having your two most experienced defensive players healthy, Trey Williams and Trey Matthews?
Yeah, I mean it was a tough blow to not have Trey Williams at all. But when Trey Matthews goes down the first quarter, that's pretty tough. Anytime a couple of your leaders go down, but that's other opportunities for other guys. And we talked about depth the first year, and so a lot of those guys are getting to play.
Guys, how many be able to play this week?
Yeah, I'll know better. We're going to practice today, and we'll see. I think Trey Williams is going to be able to practice. I'm not for sure about Trey Matthews, but like I said, we're a little banged up, but a lot of people are, this time without having an off week.
How about the offensive line?
Yeah, Casey Dunn, he will be out this week. He will not play. Mike Horton, we'll see where he's at, practicing today to see how close he is.
Coach, you said that Stidham has more flexibility and more freedom, but it reached a point in the game where he was faking it, and the whole LSU defense and he wasn't even keeping it. Is that going to change? I mean, does he have to keep the ball more to make this offense better?
I don't think there was a whole lot of reads that he misread, if that's what you're saying. Most of those that we were talking about were more of the pass off of the zone read more than it was him keeping. There was a few reads, that he had, but he didn't misread anything as far as that goes.
Coach, if Casey Dunn and Mike Horton can't go again, would you go with Prince Tega and Markel?
Yeah, the way we ended the game is the way we would go.
And how did Markel do in his first?
I thought he did a good job going in there in that environment. And he does have some experience, but I thought he did a good job. And I think Prince did a solid job too. So.
Casey got banged up, then he went back in for like 40 or 50 plays, and then he came out again.
Yeah.
He must have just been gutting through those 40 or 50 plays.
Yeah, Casey's a tough guy, and he was begging to go back in. And we got him back in the game, and he showed a lot of guts, a lot of courage, and just couldn't finish the thing. But he's a winner, and he's a real tough guy.
Gus, assuming Cameron Petway is healthy, and I think we can safely say that's still a big assumption.
Yeah.
Does he still fit in this offense with what his skill set is, or is Chip's kind of influence kind of made him a little bit more obsolete as a runner?
No, I think probably the biggest issue is he's not been able to be healthy. I mean, it is what it is on that. So I don't say anything about not fitting in the offense. And he's getting closer. And I think the other day he was close to 100%. And hopefully after this week, he will be 100%.
Why is he not effective then, if he was close to 100% still, his last 2
Well,
games?
a lot of factors go into, how big the hole is and everything that goes with it. Talking about his carries from Saturday.
When you look at the times targeted in the game, Darius had 9, and Nate Craig had 0. Do you think, is that a number you want to see more even on each side?
I think up to this point, up to last week, we've done a really good job, probably as good as anybody, is spreading the ball around. And, Chip is really good at that, and he'll continue to do that.
Coach, you talked after the game about how it was one SEC loss, but has the negative reaction from the fan base been frustrating for you?
No, well, we've got great fans, and our fans are very passionate. Our fans want to win championships, and they should. And anytime you blow a 20-point lead, on the road, I mean, they should be frustrated, and I'm frustrated also. And We can't let that happen again, and we're not gonna let it happen again. But in reality, after you get done with that, you gotta put it behind you. And, you know, that's in the rearview mirror. And so we're moving forward, and we still got a good team, and I think that's evident. And we need to go to Arkansas, we need to win. And then we need that off week, we need to heal up, and we'll be set to finish this thing. And so that's our approach, that's our players' approach. And that's what we're gonna do.
When it's more than just fans, when a prominent former player like Keith Evans suggests he should be the head coach, criticizes you, there's reaction to it. Have you spoken to Heath? How do you handle when it's not just fans, when there's former players this
Yeah, I can't remember if I've spoke to Heath since I've been the head coach. I mean, he's a TV guy. You know, TV guys, they all got opinions, so, you know, as a coach, you just, you know, I control what I can control, and we got a good team, and we're gonna finish this thing strong, and, you know, people are frustrated, and people have a voice, they can voice their opinion, and, that's just an opinion.
Gus, as efficient as Jarrett's been on first down, especially this year, and as effective as you guys have been throwing the ball, after what happened Saturday, does it make it maybe more likely that you feel like we need to stay aggressive because of how good he's been on first down?
Yeah, you know, and I'll go back to this. I mean, you know, that starts with me as a head coach, you know, regardless. I mean, you gotta be aggressive. We can't lose a 20-point lead. And it doesn't matter if it's, you know, running the ball on first down. It doesn't matter if we give up a punt return, you know, which is uncharacteristic for us. Giving up 20-point leads are unacceptable.
Coach, piggybacking kind of on the aggression aspect of the game, at halftime, you know, you got a 16-point lead, if I remember correctly, at halftime. Was it a conscious decision among the coaching staff to go more conservative?
No, it was you know, if I remember in the first half, I think we were running the ball pretty well, and we were up. Our defense was playing good. I know we gave up the drive right before the halftime, but you know, the reality is, you know, that how many points can they really score on your defense? I know that is one thought that, you know, as a coach, but, you know, obviously, you know, it didn't work out that way.
Are any concerns about your defense, the missed tackles and the big plays that were given up at LSU?
No, you know, we had a couple injuries to a couple spots right there, especially in the first quarter, and you got to give them credit, you know, for making a couple of those plays. So our defense is still a very good defense. I said we're short-handed, a few guys, but our defense, I think, has played very well all year, and we'll continue to do that.
Gus, it appeared Saturday that Sal Cannella started in Kyle's place. Is that something we could see going forward, or that was Band-Aid because Kyle didn't make it?
Yeah, I mean, he was the backup there, and I thought Sal did some good things too. And you know, though Coach Burns and Coach Lindsey will have a plan moving forward, you know, as far as the receivers concerned.
Gus, how do you prevent a bad loss from beating you twice? We saw this happen in 2014 when
Say it again.
How do you prevent a bad loss from beating you twice?
Yeah.
But the A&M loss in 14 spilled into Georgia. How do you prevent this from spilling into this week against Arkansas?
Yeah, and that is our biggest challenge here, and I truly believe our players, our leadership, and our coaches won't let that happen. And you know, you can tell that when we got back Sunday, I mean, they were still hurting. But yesterday, our guys, they put it behind them, and they'll be ready to play. And like I said, I really believe in this team, and I believe that we'll bounce back. And not only will we bounce back, that we'll have a chance to finish this thing like we wanted to when we first started the season.
You've reiterated how optimistic you are. Do you have any concerns about your own job security? Have you spoken with Jay since Saturday?
No, I'm not. The only thing I'm worried about is beating Arkansas and coming back and getting healed up for a week and try to finish this thing with the goals that we started to.
Can you talk about Arkansas a little bit offensively?
That would be great.
What you're saying?
That's the first question, Arkansas,
Yeah, can you talk about what you've seen from this year's Arkansas?
Yeah, I mean, defensively, they play extremely hard. They play an odd front defense. You know, Paul Rhodes is their defense coordinator that was here. Everybody knows he's an excellent defensive coach. You know, offensively, they're throwing a little bit more than they have. That new quarterback they have is a big guy, and I think he did some good things. So, but anytime you're going there, I mean, we're going to get their best. And, you know, it's a tough place to play.
Does playing there mean anything to you anymore, or has it just been too long?
You know, I mean, that's where I grew up. You know, and you know, it's always a little bit different going there than it is other places. And, got a lot of my best friends in the world are around that area, and family's still there, so it's always a little different, you know, when you go back home.
What is it about this series, Gus, not just your own connection, but at first, when you first became a head coach, you and Brett had an exchange of words, and then last year, it certainly spilled into the players in the pregame with the logo stopping and all that jazz. Just what is it about this series? It seems to be that there's animosity that just doesn't quite, I mean, sort of doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I mean, I get along great with Brett and have a lot of respect for him, you know, as a coach and a person. And I know early on there was some uncomfortable things, you know, but, you know, I really don't feel that way anymore. I mean, they're ultra competitive and they're wanting to beat us, and we're ultra competitive and we're wanting to beat them.
Do you think the players still have, either your players because the logo thing from last year, or because it's 56-3 games, is how they'll approach this particular game? Because obviously
they're going to be motivated, but because it's an SEC game, and we will. I mean, every year is different, you know, and this year is different. So I don't, you know, for us it's a big game. I'll tell you right now, it's a big game. That's the way we're approaching it, and it is. And so what happened last year doesn't affect us.
Anything else? All right, guys.